Hello everyone, and welcome to a final after-action report on my Molodechno scenario in the campaign series of Operation Bagration of Memoir 44. This is the final one. Quite happy with the way it is now. I haven't changed too much. I've settled on 19 victory medals that are required to win. And the final score in this playtest was 19 to 14 for the Germans. The Russians only have 3 objective medals, which is actually not quite enough. They should get more, but they played well. Actually, in this particular playthrough, they got the least reinforcements, only once or twice. In the playtest before, which I didn't make a recording of, they actually got far more, but they had a better strategy this time. They built a couple of pontoon bridges, one over here. It's a bit difficult to see because the tank unit is on it, but there's a pontoon bridge here, and there's one here. And pretty early on, they moved many of their tanks forward. They lost a few in the process as well, but that put a lot of pressure on the Germans, and it also enabled them to move forward quickly. The Russian panzers can move, or the Russian tanks can move 3 hexes in still battle, the Germans 2 hexes in still battle, so basically the Blitz rules. But now they work against the Germans because the Russians were far superior by this time in the war, and they could maintain a much higher speed and everything, which was called deep battle. But anyway, I digress. That was a very good tactic for the Russians. As you can see, they've moved pretty far up front. They actually captured the town of Molodechno itself as well, not the station, but the town, yes, but they were subsequently thrown out by rolling a flag, and or 2 flags, perhaps it was 2 flags, so they're over here now. Another tactic that really works, and that's why you need to get up the tanks as soon as possible as well, and this actually makes sense because the Germans tried to evacuate many units by train and by road from Minsk to Molodechno and beyond, and they actually exited 4 units by train, but by now the railroad is blocked. If you play with the air pack, or the new flight plan, I should say, it's pretty easy to block these rails pretty early on. If you do play with the air pack, I have an optional rule, or actually not an optional rule, you should really use it if you play with the air pack, that you give the tank anti-air capability, basically anti-air, so anti-air artillery, so even up to 2 hexes away you should allow it, I believe, to fire as many as 4 dice, not to make it too easy and too tempting to simply block the rails. But the Germans scored 4 victory points as such by exiting the train off the railroad bridge here. They did so twice, so that was 4 medals, and now it is blocked. So that really worked. But over here they only got this particular unit, the elite tank unit, which did pretty well, but it didn't manage to break through here. The train was here. You have to first eliminate the unit before you can move into Minsk. If that actually does happen, the Russians have a lot more victory medals within their reach. So that's, I guess, how you should play. Build a couple of pontoon bridges also early on. Use the collapsible boats and rafts ability. That way you can move the infantry pretty quickly, even without pontoon bridges. It's a pretty fun scenario. It takes a couple of playthroughs to find out the right strategy for the Russians, and even then, it's pretty close. As you can see, I mean, eventually the Russians would have won. As you can see, they have far more units on the board. But the problem is the Germans have a head start of, I believe it's 10 medals in this particular scenario, so they have to catch up, and they have to catch up fast. They have to block the railroad. So basically that's that. I hope you enjoyed, and see you on the next one. The next scenario in the series will be on the battles of Vilnius and Kaunas, which I will combine into one scenario. So thank you for watching, and see you on the next one.